Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, 2023. The Mission Impossible series is known for all-out action and crazy stunt work. Tom Cruise performed his career-best stunt and his voracious appetite for danger can be seen on the screen. Cruise, who plays as Ethan Hunt, take on global terrorist Gabriel, played by S.I. Morales, on top of the Orient Express as it roars through the Swiss Alps. The stunt that was billed as the most death-defying one, and it was filmed for real. Director McQuarrie and his team built a custom train in Norway. The train could accommodate filming rigs and equipment and could run on a real rail track, and the locomotive could travel at 96 km per hour. Tom Cruise rides a motorcycle off the edge of a cliff and then parachutes to safety while in free fall. The filming of nail-biting stunt sequence for real delivered exceptional results, and the actors involved in the stunt were lauded for their commitment and bravery. Fast and Furious 6, 2013. Fast and Furious franchise is reputed for over-the-top gravity and logic-defying CGI stunt sequences that take us beyond our imagination. But the Vin Diesel and company opted for real stunts in their sixth franchise that delivered stunning and exceptional results. Dominic Toretto, played by Diesel, and his extended family take on a wealthy and well-armored mercenary organization in the sixth entry of the series. Director Justin Lin opted to try out a real stunt sequence with custom-built vehicles. The production created a monster of vehicle that weighed 60 tons that could travel at 96 km per hour. The tank chase was shot on specially created highway in Canary Islands with a permission from the government. Evan's character commandeering tank ran over around 250 real cars on the highway. They fired even a front portion of a 30-ton truck, and the real stunts scene stunned everyone. Extraction 2, 2023. Extraction 2 on Netflix, directed by former stuntman Sam Hargrave, was lauded for its heart-pounding 21-minute battle scene during a daring prison break to rescue a woman and her children from the captivity. Australian actor Chris Hemsworth, who plays Tyler Rake, a Black Ops mercenary, is grazed by an explosion that ignites his hand in flames. Hemsworth pummels his adversaries and inflames them to extinguish the fire in his hand. The thrilling pursuit unfolds through forest car chase that culminates into a snowy showdown atop a speeding train. Hemsworth performed a daunting stunt action standing on top of a moving train hurtling at 50 miles per hour while firing at an enemy helicopter hovering just 20 feet ahead. Hemsworth and 400 extras involved in the scene rehearsed the stunt for over 5 months. The entire 21-minute stunt, except for helicopter crashing into the snow, was filmed for real, which made the film a masterpiece. Candyman, 1992. Candyman, a gothic supernatural horror film, written and directed by Bernard Rose, has made restless nights for the filmgoers, and the hook-handed horror doesn't seem to go away even after 3 sequels. Tony Todd's iconic performance as Folklore Phantom added a greater value to the film, and he approached the role with elegance and enormous responsibility. Todd endured physical pain to give authenticity to the character, and the scene with bees was the highlight of the film. The crew used 200,000 real honeybees on the set, and all those off-screen were wearing bodysuits to protect themselves from the stings. Todd wore a protective mouthpiece, and it took more than half an hour to extract the bees from his body completely. Director Bernard Rose used real hypnosis to calm down Virginia Madsen to deepen the authenticity of her performance. Todd was stung by bees for 23 times during bee scene, and he was paid a bonus of $1,000 for each sting. Oppenheimer, 2023. Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan, offered a fantastic perspective on the life and legacy of the father of atomic bomb J. Robert Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer delivered a realistic look at the scientist's life and the events that revolved around the creation of the atomic bomb. The great actor Cillian Murphy portrayed the genius from the college days through rise and fall from the grace of everyone. The Trinity test is one of the highlights of the movie, and the explosion scene was shot in the desert in New Mexico. The largest explosion shots were created using stacks of 44-gallon fuel drums with high explosives rigged underneath them. Christopher Nolan used VFX to string shots of several explosions together, but the eyebrow-scorching blast scene on the screen was shot for real. Death Roof, 2007. Quentin Tarantino, the director of Death Proof, chose a bona fide, real-life stunt woman Zoe Bell to play out the most extreme stunts for real. Death Proof is a thrilling homage to car chases, stuntmen, and lovers of action films. Zoe Bell played stuntwoman, the version of her own self, and it was the first major speaking role for Kill Bill stuntwoman. The film's most thrilling stunt sequence was a lengthy car chase, where Bell rides on the hood of a 1971 Dodge Challenger that was speeding at 128 to 161 km per hour. Bell spends most of the chase on the hood of the car with only two belts strapped to the doors to hold on throughout the chase. The camera whips around, showing the ground flying beneath her, as she grips radiator cover for dear life. It's one of the most stunning stunt sequences in cinema history, and Zoe Bell marveled all the way for real. John Wick, Chapter 4. The film was directed by Chad Stahelski, a former stuntman. The stunts in the film are traditional, long, unbroken, and finely choreographed till the last blow. Chad Stahelski shot one of the most audacious, death-defying stunts of the film on the steps of Montmartre Hill that leads up to the famous Basilica Sacré-Cœur in Paris. The scene sees Wick, Reeves, at the foot of 222-step staircase and having to battle an army of henchmen to reach the top in time for a duel with main villain. Reeves gets kicked, knocked, and tripped down the stairs several times. He was flung down 222 steps leading from Basilica Sacré-Cœur Cathedral, and he tumbles all the way back to the bottom. Vincent Bouillon, Reeves' stunt double, took the 222 steps grunting, cursing and thudding 42 seconds fall stunningly, and it's one of the greatest real stunt feats ever performed in a movie. GoldenEye, 1995. GoldenEye, directed by Martin Campbell, was the first of the 90s James Bond movies and one of the best in the entire franchise. Martin kicked off things with a 10-minute sequence that begins with a death-defying bungee jumping down a dam. The pulse-pounding stunt was shot at Vezaska Dam in Switzerland. Stuntman Wayne Michaels performed the feat of 220-meter jump, and it holds the Guinness record for the highest bungee jump from a structure in a film. The stunt became so iconic, and the dam was leased out to a commercial bungee jump operator due to popular demand. The bungee jump scene was filmed on March 11, 1995. 6 cameras filmed the stunt, and a trauma clinic was in place for any emergency. The production team had a helicopter hovering close to the site as a matter of precaution. The bungee jump is said to be the best Bond stunt, and the thrill seekers are still making the same 007 jump made 3 decades ago. Batman Returns, 1992. Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman has demonstrated perfect physicality in Batman Returns, 1992, directed by Tim Burton. The way she handled Whip herself and her mind-blowing acrobatics stunned everyone. The phenomenal work cemented her as definitive Catwoman. The fluttering of her eyes in the scene where she comes back to life may appear to be a work of VFX, but in reality it was the magic of her fine acting power. Our jaws hit the floor when Michelle takes out a live bird from a cage and stuff it in her mouth in the scene, where Catwoman scheming with a penguin played by Danny DeVito. The bird flies out when she opens her mouth after a few seconds. The act of stuffing a live bird in the mouth is something weird, and it was not the work of VFX. Michelle has done it for real for the scene to be authentic. Tim Burton shot the scene just in one take, and it turned out to be a sensation in the cinema history. Inception, 2010. Inception, the film of dreams directed by Christopher Nolan, was known for fabulous sets and mind-boggling real stunts. The most popular anti-gravity hallway fight was shot in rotating sets in an airship hangar outside London. Gordon Levitt and the actor playing guards, involved in the stunt, were suspended from a wire. The hallway was built vertically to achieve zero-gravity effect, and the camera was placed at the bottom, and it looked as if they were floating in zero gravity. Another set would rotate 360 degrees, and depending on the needed shot, they would attach camera to the set or would be separate from it. The actors rehearsed for days, and the filming of the stunt sequence went on for 3 weeks. The final result was outstanding and exceptional, and it was one of the finest sequences in Inception. The stunt sequence was real all the way, and Christopher Nolan was lauded for his mastery of delivering the jaw-dropping real stunts.